Hello, I'm Tim Draper from Applied, and today I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of Adobe LiveCycle Rights Management from an end user's perspective, so opening rights managed protected documents. But a slightly different take on it from usual, this time actually working on a Mac rather than a Windows PC. Now, Adobe Rights Management protection on PDF files is fairly straightforward, both on a Mac and pretty much any other device, mobile devices included, because Adobe's Reader supports rights management and is natively available on all of those platforms. However, Microsoft Office documents are a slightly different prospect because they require Microsoft Office to be running on the device that you're accessing the document, and they also require the LiveCycle Rights Management plugin. So today, for this demo, we're going to be looking at Office documents, and we're going to be using Citrix XenApp in conjunction with Rights Management to bring Microsoft Office applications straight to the Mac desktop and allow us to access and work with Rights Managed Office documents pretty much seamlessly straight off the Mac desktop as if they were applications running locally here. Before we get on and look at that, I'm just going to give you a very quick walkthrough of the policies that we're going to be working with. So just logging into the LiveCycle Rights Management server. So we'll go straight to the policies, take a quick look at them. Two policies I'd like to show you. One of them is in a set called Applied, and the policy is called default policy. Fairly simple policy. For the whole of this demonstration, I'm going to be logged in as myself, and I'm in this group here, Applied ES Team. And you can see with this policy, I don't have print, modify, or copy, so it's pretty minimal rights. 128-bit AES encryption, and we do have a 5-day offline lease on this document. So those users that have been given offline privileges get a maximum of 5 days without having to re-authenticate. And on the options tab here, you can see that all users do have offline privileges on this particular policy. Now, the other policy I'd quickly like to show you is a my policy. So whereas these are all enterprise-wide, if a user's been granted permission to create their own policies, they sit under the My Policies tab, and I do have that permission. And if I search for me in here, go and grab my policy, Tim's policy. Now these are policies that are set up by individuals for their own use rather than from an enterprise perspective. And you can see this time I'm a named individual in here with complete rights to do everything. And the other difference is that this policy also has a watermark on it. In this case, we've got one called Demo Watermark, which puts the username and the word confidential across the document. So that's a quick walkthrough of the two policies. So this is our Citrix XenApp console where we can get access to our Office documents. Just going to click on the Word icon here, fire up Word. I've also got it configured to pre-start Excel in the background as well, so that we can take a quick look at that application. So this is just bringing those applications to the desktop. So here we are, Word is just starting up now. There we go. I'll minimize. So it's just an application running on the desktop like any other of the apps that are installed directly on my Mac. I can go into File, create a new document. Works just like Microsoft Word on Windows. Put a bit of text in there. Identical. Let's close that document down. I'm now going to go and open a document that's already protected. This one here. Now this document is protected using the default policy. So this is the policy for which I have minimal rights. So the document's loaded in Word, and I can navigate around it. The scroll button on my mouse just scrolls me up and down just as it does any other app. In the banner across the top, you'll see it says it's protected by Adobe Rights Management. And if I click on the Adobe Rights Management tab, you can see my security status here shows me as not being able to print, change or copy. If I double click, the security settings box also tells me the name of the policy is default policy. So if I actually select a portion of text here in the window, you'll see that the cut and copy buttons are all greyed out. I can't copy and paste. Now I'm going to go and open another document. This time, this top document is secured using my own personal policy, Tim's policy. We open that document up. Again, in the banner at the top, you can see it's protected by Adobe Rights Management, but this time it's got the watermark with my name and the word confidential. And if I click on the Adobe Rights Management tab, you can see I have all of the permissions that I'm granted in that particular policy. So, for example, I can grab a bit of text here. This time I can copy it. And paste straight into the document. So pretty much got all the rights I need. So you can see it's pretty seamless. It just works like any other app, and we've got access to all of our rights management capabilities. If I go back to the Adobe Rights Management tab here, I can click this button and it will take me straight to my section on the policy server where I can create my own policies, manage my policies. Again, you can see it's opening up Internet Explorer this time, again using the Citrix XenApp, because obviously Explorer doesn't work on the Mac, and I can get straight to my policies and see Tim's policy in there. So pretty straightforward. Let's have a quick look at Excel. This time we'll maximize it, and again we'll go and open a document. This time we have a document called Finances. So that again is another protected document, and it will be authenticating my user account against the policy server. There we go, it's opened up. Again, protected by Adobe Rights Management. Click on the tab here. I've got full access rights. We double click. It's secured using Tim's policy. This time, just to show you a slightly different capability, because this is my policy and I've got full rights, I'm given the ability up here to remove or revoke the protection. So I'm going to hit revoke. So we'll click that button. And what this has done again is it's fired up Internet Explorer, taking me straight to my section within the Rights Management Policy Server where I can revoke this particular document. And what it's actually allowing me to do in this case is decide why. So I'm going to say the document is terminated. It's given me a default message there. It even gives you a URL. So for example, if you want to direct people to another server, to a web page where they can get a later version of the document, I can put a URL in here. We'll just put my company URL in here. Click OK. So that document is now revoked. If we close it in Excel and then reopen it, what we'll find this time when the document's loading up is that instead of it loading, it will basically come back. Let's just open it here. It will now come back and give me this message, file withdrawn. And this little button here, download revised file, this is where that URL comes in. If I click there, it will then go and follow that URL that I provided it with and essentially take me to that web page. So it's just loading up the applied home page there now. There we go. So the whole thing working very easily. So let's now just minimize Excel and Word. Just for comparison's sake, let's now start up Adobe Reader. So this is a folder. We're now here natively on my Mac. This is a folder on the Mac. I've got a PDF file in this folder, so I'm just going to open it with Adobe Reader. This time I've not signed in using single sign-on, so I'm just going to enter my LiveCycle credentials. And this will just open up that PDF file in Adobe Reader using Reader that's actually installed on my Mac itself. And again, it's gone back to the policy server, authenticated me, it's bringing back my rights so that I can open that document and basically get the rights that have been provided to me in that particular folder. There we go. So we're in Adobe Reader. Again, at the top it says it's secured. Again, you can see the watermark across the document. If we click on the security tab here, permissions, you can see again these are the permissions that I've been provided on this particular document. So I'm not allowed to copy any content. Select some content here. Sorry, copying content is allowed because this is my own personal policy. So that's pretty much the demo wrapped up. Hopefully you can see that by combining together Adobe LiveCycle, Adobe Reader, and also Citrix XenApp, that you can have a complete sort of seamless user experience working with rights management documents that are both PDF and Office on a Mac. So just to wrap this whole session up, one more thing to show you. Obviously, you've been looking at this on a Mac, but the Citrix XenApp technology works with a whole host of different end clients. Just got a quick slideshow of images here. Earlier today, we did exactly the same exercise on an iPad using XenApp again. And just a few pictures here just to show you Microsoft Word running on the iPad, and you can see at the top of the screen here we've got all of the access permissions from the LiveCycle Rights Management there. Another shot. There you can see the secure settings panel displayed showing the access rights again on the iPad. Logging in, and also Microsoft Excel again with the rights management ribbon across the top. And so you can have exactly the same experience, and on the iPad all of the various touchscreen gestures are supported, so you can run your Microsoft Office application using pinch to zoom and using 2 and 3 finger taps for different functions. So hopefully that's been very informative, and if you want any more information you can contact Applied at the web address you can see in the top right hand corner.